Hi, my name is artsylyssy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use color in your art. For those who don't know me, I am a self-taught artist. I've been drawing my whole life, and I've been using colored pencils for the last 10 years. I don't proclaim to be any kind of savant, master, professional. I'm just here to share what's in my head and to help anyone who struggles with using color or just wants to do what I do with the old color pencil. So, if this video is not for you, that's okay. Just move on. If it is, come along for the ride and let's learn how to use color. Okay, guys, today we are going to be drawing some apples. When I was a wee little artist, I started off drawing in a regular pencil. I learned the basics in black and white. I learned value, proportions, perspectives, portrait drawing, blah, 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 blah. For some reason, I just could not wrap my head around color. Like, things just never came out right, and they either just looked elementary or muddy. And it wasn't until my freshman year of high school when I learned how to draw a water droplet on tone tan paper that the entire trajectory of my art life changed forever. It was my first lesson in color pencil and really the only one I needed to finally understand how to do color as a concept. I was so used to working on white canvas and having to add dark colors to the light that I didn't realize that my brain would better understand adding light to the darkness. Ooh, metaphoric. So if you're stuck, maybe this will help you too. So we're going to start off very easy and do a quick refresher or crash course on value with only a white pencil because values are the foundation of proper color usage. I don't know. Anyways, let's get started. All right, here she is drawing a circle and chatting, yapping. Who knows what she's yapping about? But yeah, I don't know. Do I just sit here in silence? Like, do I let you just process it? Yeah, right? I feel like if you're here on YouTube, like, you're a visual learner. Anyways, I don't know. I just like talking. Okay. So what I'm doing here is when the apple is on a surface, okay? What am I telling you? Oh, yes. When you're sketching, make sure that you hold the pencil at the end because when you hold it too close, you're more likely to stab the paper, and you don't want to do that because it's just a sketch. And you want your first few passes to be really light. That way, if you need to like shape things around, whatever, it's easy to erase. I'm pointing out to you that is going to be the shadow, and because we're working on black paper, I'm kind of lightening the environment to kind of show where the apple is in situ. It's going to look whack, but trust the process, my friends. So while I'm doing that, what I was trying to say earlier before I interrupted myself, whenever an object is on a surface, like a ball, or in this case, the apple, the light from the surface, so if you think about it, the light is hitting the apple from above, at least in this example, and not only is it hitting the apple, but it's hitting the surface. So what happens with light is it's going to reflect off the surface onto the apple, which is why there is a little bit of light in that bottom right corner. And the left side, as I pointed out earlier, is going to be the darkest part, so we're not going to put much, if anything, of the white. And you'll see that we are slowly carving out the background, if you will. Carving out brows? No, carving out apples. Gosh, it's so tough to like watch myself draw. Okay, and like you just can see like how this is kind of the beauty of black paper is like it doesn't take much for you to really start seeing your shape or what you're really trying to do. Like, could I stop here? Yeah. Will I? No. But you could. And the beauty is that you're not even putting like that much down on the paper, which, fun fact, my social media presence used to be lazy art, and that's because I'm a lazy artist. And yes, I think that drawing on black paper is fun. It's also, like I said, the only way my brain, not the only way, I've grown. I could do white paper now. It's definitely what I'm accustomed to. However, it's also kind of lazy because if I'm doing like a dark photo or like if I'm using like a really cool reference photo where they're like in the dark and their face is green and red, I don't have to put that much down all the time because like you can see the shadow doesn't really need to be defined by the white because it's already there on the paper. And I think that's what was easy for me to understand when using color. Don't worry though, hold your horses, we will get there. Methinks I'm going to speed through the rest of this because you can kind of get the gist, and as you see I apply more pressure so my fingers are closer to the tip of the pencil to put more pressure on the paper. Anyways, I will let the drawing do the talking, and we'll come back because this is mostly just going to be me refining. And if you have any questions that I'm not answering or talking about, feel free to leave comments below. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. All right, folks, and we have our apple. Look at her. How beautiful, gorgeous is she? Alyssa, stop drawing. Stop drawing. Stop drawing. You're good. You're good. There she is. Next, we are going to use what we've all been waiting for. Color. Red, yellow, blue. The primary colors. Because at the end of the day, that's all you really need. Because I have an abundance of color pencils. And the reality is, you really don't need all that. Okay? You don't. I'm just a freak. Like, I have a gold pencil. Never used it. Never used it, and I don't think I'm ever going to use it. A couple other things to keep in mind. The color wheel is your best friend, okay? If you're an artist, you'll know this. If you're a beginner and you don't know this, if you don't remember from school, these three colors make everything. You don't need a 12-pack, you need a 24 or 48, because these colors will do everything. Yellow is our highlight, red will be our midtone, and blue will be our darkest part. Again, did not go to art school, so not really looped in on the art terminology, but I'm trying my best here as your student teacher. And also number 3, if you don't have tone paper, if you don't have black paper, if you can't afford it, times are tough, it's okay. If you only have white paper, you can tone it yourself. You can lay a layer of blue or red or green. You can do whatever your heart desires, because that's what oil painters do. They do the underpainting. That's what I do with my gouache paintings. That's what a lot of digital artists do. You can do whatever your heart desires. You can also just get construction paper from the dollar store, and you can do this on purple paper or green paper. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever your heart desires, because art does not have to be inaccessible. Anyways, I'm chatting so much, and I'm falling behind. So, you'll see that I put the yellow in the highlights. If you've seen my other work, I will let you know, I don't always do white as a base. If you're practicing values, if it helps you, if it guides you to kind of know where to put the colors, I 100%, think you should do that. Do what's best for you. I don't always lay them down. I like to usually sketch in like whatever color palette I'm using. But yes, so we've laid the yellow down. Now we're laying the blue down in our shadow. And that's that. Sorry, I fall behind, get ahead of myself, talk too much. Pick a lane, girl. Then we go in with our red. Again, being mindful of the pressure and where you're holding the pencil. Even though we have a decent foundation, we have a couple layers in, you still want to go light because you'll see that I'll go back and forth between the three colors, blending, making sure everything looks right. And if you go too hard, too fast, it just gets a little sloppy. It gets a little hard to blend out. So also do as I say, not as I do, because I am this is not sped up. This is just how fast I go. Like I said, used to be lazy art, and I'm just an impatient person, and I spent so much time trying to figure out how to make a tutorial for you guys, and this is what I came up with. And I really don't want to be drawing an apple, but I will for you guys, because I think the apple's rotten right to the core. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm going a little fast, and sometimes, I'm a little hasty and make my own mistakes. But everybody makes mistakes. That's what the great Hannah Montana says. We have to remember. Here, I don't need to be going that hard over there because I just don't. So, do as I say, not as I do. Still go light. Go back and forth. Also, so the pencils that I'm using right now, I don't think I've said that. I use Prismacolors. They're my go-to. These are the pencils that I learned on. Honestly, I've been using these all 10 years. Before that was Crayola because I was a child. And then I recently tried the Caran d'Ache pencils because they were fancy looking and looked really cool and vibrant. And I have to say, I didn't like them as much as I like Prismas. So I think Prismacolor is still a decent middle ground option. They're very easy to pick up and learn. They're very blendable. They're very vibrant. If they're not affordable because of inflation and rising prices, my apologies. I have not bought pencils for so long. My collection is insane. I don't remember the last time I bought color pencils. I really don't. I have so many. But yes, back to that color wheel. Sorry, I just get so distracted. Okay, so one of the mistakes that I made as a young artist was thinking that you had to shade things with black or brown or whatever. And you can, but I have learned from my lovely digital artists that using contrasting colors is the GOAT. Because you'll see here, yes, I have blue. I went over it with yellow, and I'm going back over it with red. But if you look at our handy-dandy color wheel, the opposite of red is green. So if you're using a dark green to kind of darken and shade and kind of show the shadows, it's going to look so much better and so much richer and livelier and real than if you were to just shade with black or brown or whatever pops into your brain first. So you'll see it still kind of does give that black appearance, but it's not. It's not. Also, if you didn't know, again, if you're an artist and you're actually I didn't know, this is not for you. If you didn't know, red plus yellow plus blue makes brown. And yeah. I don't know. And then you add white, and that's where you get like your foundation shades and the lighter, better, all that stuff. But yeah, really, these 3 colors are all you need. And when it comes to blending too, I personally just like to go back and forth between the colors until it gets to an opacity and texture, smoothness, whatever that I like. Guys, I'm not used to explaining what I do. I'm so sorry. But once it kind of gets to where, like, I have to admit, I don't really do a good job blending here. The best, anyway. I've done better. Please check out my other work, and you'll see. But a lot of these, like, brands, like Prism, for example, come with blending pencils. Like, they have blending pencil. I want to say blending stump, but it's not. They come with blending pencils, and I personally don't like them because I feel that it dulls the color and makes it look strange. So, yeah, like I said, if I'm blending between yellow and red, I will just go back and forth between the yellow and red until I'm satisfied. Or use, like, a transition color. Same way with eyeshadow. Like, if you're girly, it's the same thing with, like, a transition shade. Like, you're going to put taupe in your crease, and then you're going to put brown in the outer quarters in a light color. It's the same thing. Blending. Like, translate to here. That's a transferable skill, by the way. If you're good at makeup, you can bring it here. Okay, guys. Well, it looks like we are nearing the end of our art poll. It's a little hard on myself, but this was just a teaching lesson. I am a good artist, and I do usually do better than this, but this was just a little teaching example. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. I hope you like my apple. I think she's cute. Look at her. She's cute. She's cute or whatever. Okay. I'd love to see your guys' apples too, if you'd share them with me. But thank you, guys. Please subscribe if you learned something today and would love to see more of what I have to offer. It was an honor to be your student teacher today. And like I said, I would love to see your apples. If you didn't learn anything today, well, that's okay, because you can't win them all. And you can either be nice and leave a question below, or be mean and go away. Otherwise, find me on TikTok to see when I go live next. I love talking to you guys, and I love sharing my art with the world. So, yeah, until next time.